morning. It's about 7:15 and we're getting started. It didn't get quite as cold as they said last night. I think it was 38 was the lowest it got in the tent. So I didn't have to sleep with anything to keep it from freezing. There were lots of deer up here. Didn't see them before we went to bed, but then heard something stomping around outside at 1 in the morning. Checked it out, and yeah, it was deer. So went back to sleep quite peacefully. They're still running around this morning, just can't get them on camera for all the trees. Pretty sunrise, and we're gonna try to make it 20 today. We'll see. This is a really relaxed section, and the shelters are spaced at 16 miles each. So, we'll just see how it goes. But it is pretty. Yeah, so at that shelter last night was a guy I met at the previous shelter at lunch, Brian. And then Guinness, who I hadn't seen in a long time, showed up, camped there. And then MacGyver, who my wife met on her morning hike and told me to look out for him. So a couple new faces and a familiar one. This is the memorial to the old hermit, Uncle Nick Grindstone. Looks like he was born in 1851 and died in 1923. He said he was something like 70 years old. It says it lived alone, suffered alone, and died alone. But that's probably the way he wanted it. Well, Uncle Nick, you got a great place here up on the mountain as a final resting place. Fellow back there doing trail magic, and I got a sausage biscuit and a donut. It was great. Turns out he is a descendant of the hermit that's buried on top of the mountain. I stopped at his monument, and so that connection is really something. And he told me the story of him that the hermit went out to California to make money to get married, and some woman out there set him up, and a couple of guys beat him really bad and left him for dead. He lost everything. So when he came back, he moved to the top of the mountain. He said, I'm just going to live alone from now on. And usually when someone becomes a hermit, there's some incident that causes them to no longer seek the company of fellow human beings. That's quite a story. like someone used to have a rock wall out here. So I got to Abington Gap Shelter a little after 3. The water was nearly a quarter mile down the mountain and back. Quarter mile one way, so did half a mile to get water. I just couldn't stop at 3:15. So it is 8 miles to the next water source, and that water source is a quarter mile down the mountain. So I'm going to try to, and it's only 10 miles to Damascus, so I'm going to walk as far as I can. If the ruins please me, I will stay there. That's in just under 5 miles. And if some other campsite jumps out at me as idyllic, I will take it. We've got plenty of time before dark to figure it out. Okay, we have arrived at the ruins campsite. Looks like some of the ruins are still up along the hill there, but we might be able to find a flat spot. Maybe right there. It's 15 till 6, and the Serenity Shuttle has landed at trail mile 466 for a 21-mile day. It leaves us just about a little bit more than 5 miles into Damascus tomorrow. Well, we'll get into Damascus tomorrow and get resupplied and be ready for the next 4-day stretch. So thanks for hiking with me, and remember, we're doing the impossible, and that makes us mighty.